I am super excited. We are only how many days away from FarmTech?
I didn't count the sleeps, but about 3 months.
And
2 months.
People are already talking about it.
Yeah, we've already got people registering earlier than we've ever set up registration before. We sold out the show floor in record time despite adding more booths. So there's a lot of energy and excitement around the show, just like there is, every show you go to right now.
Right. So how do you top last year? 'Cause last year was pretty cool.
That's always a challenge for us to top last year. So we have added a few new things. Like one of the things that we're going to do to sort of enhance the whole FarmTech experience is we're building a smartphone app that'll work on most smartphones, and it'll let guys interact not only with the show in terms of creating their own personalized schedule, an interactive map to find the exhibitors that they most want to visit, but also an internal messaging system so that even though you don't know somebody, if they've got the app, you can send them a message back and forth and sort of create a larger network with people.
That's really cool. So who are the big headliners this year?
Big headliners? Well, our banquet speaker, which is creating a lot of attention, is Commander Chris Hadfield, who spent a little bit of time up there on the space station. So he's going to be the banquet speaker on the Wednesday night. We're kicking the show off with Dr. Lutz Getty, who's out of McKinsey and Company in Chicago, and he gives a really, really good perspective on global agriculture, not just in terms of production, but in terms of where the world is really growing in market demand, how technology is affecting agriculture in countries that probably we haven't seen as competitors in the past. On the second day, we got Dick Whitman coming, and he's a farm management consultant. We've had him in the past, and he's really, really good about sort of the, not succession planning on the business side, but the personal side. So how do you get along as families on the farm? How do you set it up so, as an example, a multi-family farm operation, that people actually take scheduled holidays and have defined responsibilities?
Yeah.
So he'll be doing a plenary and a
What's really good
session.
about him is that he really gives practical steps that he's actually seen implemented. He's not like a 100,000-foot kind of guy. He really gives you some practical stuff to do.
And that's something we've tried to do at FarmTech, is blend some of those global perspectives, big picture thinking, but it's really important that the delegates go home with, whether it's agronomy information or management information, it's something they can put to use on the farm as soon as they get home.
Cool. And the full list of concurrents?
A huge list of concurrents, over 60 sessions again. RealAgriculture is going to be there doing a Real Ag panel live. We've got some speakers coming up with some very creative ideas. I know Scott Mears is planning on doing an AB Bug Chat live, and his plan is to actually have a whole suite of topics to pick from, but delegates will vote in the session on which insect they want to hear about.
Cool.
Canola Council, those guys are always popular, so the crop production team's going to do a Canola Watch live. So they'll do a presentation, they'll tailor it to the audience, and then they'll release an issue of Canola Watch following the session based on that FarmTech session.
The show continues to innovate. So how many people will be at the show again this year, probably, roughly?
We're just rerunning the numbers to see what we can fit in comfortably. We expect it to be 1,600 delegates for the show itself and upwards of 2,000 for the banquet.
That's awesome.
And one of the really cool things that's going to be at FarmTech this year is the Man Van is coming, which is mobile prostate testing. So last year that was announced at the banquet. Monsanto was one of the sponsors of that, so they mentioned their sponsorship of it. I think Agrium and Bayer Crop Sciences are also involved. But the Man Van's going to actually be there, so when the delegates are there and they've got a few extra minutes, they can pop in, do the blood test to check for prostate cancer and hopefully contribute to men's health in rural Alberta.
Cool. Okay, is there still openings? Can people still register?
Absolutely. Registration literally just opened a week ago, but we fully anticipate selling out. We always sell out by the early bird deadline, which is early in January. I wouldn't be surprised if we sold out by Christmas, so people just need to go to farmtechconference.com and get themselves registered before they're disappointed.
And RealAgriculture is going to be there, so why wouldn't farmers want to be there? It's the perfect spot to be.
Well, I'm going to be there too, so you can see us both at FarmTech.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Rick.
Thank you, Sean.